Welcome to Knife Spot. It's a spot for knives. Today it's a spot maybe for a story. As we're getting to know each other a little bit, as I'm making some videos for YouTube here, I thought it'd be important maybe you know a little about me. I'm from the Midwest originally. I'm on the West Coast now. But mostly I want to tell you about my first knife. I think it's important that if you're going to go and tell other people about knives, folks should probably know about your first knife. My first knife, I'm proud to say, is a Ric-Nor electric mate Electrician's Barlow. Not Electrician's knife, but Electrician's Barlow knife. A little bit shorter. I found one of these knives. Now, this isn't my first knife. It was the first model of my first knife, and this is an exact replica of that knife in really excellent condition, almost mint condition. But it's not my original one. I have no idea where that is anymore. I'm sure it was lost in the back of a Chevy at some point in time. But that doesn't really matter because the pattern of this knife and this little Electric Mate logo down here, that little Electric Mate logo right there, I am quite fond of. Makes me laugh every time I look at it with the lightning bolts in it. Well, I found this old knife in the bottom of my dad's giant toolbox. He had a toolbox, I swear to goodness. His toolbox, you know, you think of a toolbox that kind of looks like this, that most carpenters would carry, right? My dad's toolbox was absolutely huge. It had a huge handle on the top. It had support handles on the side. It had several drawers in the middle. It was absolutely huge and insane, and when I was going through the thing, one day I found this little Ric-Nor pocket knife, but it was completely seized. There's, you know, it was all closed, and there's no way you could get it open. You know, yeah, it was rusted, absolutely rusted shut, and I took it up to my dad, and I said, "Hey, can I have this?" My dad looked at it, and he tried to open it, and he finally pried the main blade open. And he took it over to one of those cinder blocks things, you know, looked like this. Kind of the building site. We went over and he rubbed it on the corner really, really hard. And he dulled that blade down to you couldn't cut butter with it and handed it back to me. And he says, "Go ahead and clean it up. And if you can get it opening and shutting and looking good by your birthday, I'll sharpen it for you." And I did just that. I spent the next week walking around the house and polishing it on anything I could. My mother's kitchen towels, rags, paper towels. I had the thing in my hand constantly trying to polish said knife and just get it absolutely gleaming, as gleaming as I could. Well, by the time my birthday rolled around, my 10th birthday, by the way, my 10th birthday rolled around, it looked pretty good, and it opened and shut pretty easily. It even stopped at that half point, just like that. Well, my dad took a look at it, and he goes, "Is that the same knife?" And I said, "Yep." And he said, "Well, all right." And he took it over to his stone, and he pulled it out, and he had one of these Arkansas honing stones, just like this one. Mine's a little wet right now, but he drug it along there and put a pretty decent edge on it. Not real sharp, but sharp enough to allow me to cut myself 5 or 6 times over the next 48-hour period, which I guess is, you know, par for the course with any young boy with his first knife. But you know what? I got to show my friends those little scars on my hands and little band-aids on my fingers and tell them I got them cut with this really awesome knife I had. I really got to brag. In fact, I love that story, and I love that memory so much. Just can't say no to these, and I bought another one just recently, so I've got twins now. I'll probably have triplets and quadruplets by Christmas, I would imagine. That is part of the knife game. That's part of the collecting game. Hey, thanks for joining me here on Knife Spot. I appreciate it. See you next time on Knife Spot.